Today we find ourselves back on the northern part of the Coorong. It's not the very best of weather, but the Coorong has its own interests at any time. I wasn't intending to tell this story quite so early in this episode, but we find ourselves in one of the relevant locations. So I'll give part of the story of the Mariah survivors and the killing. I'll tell more of the story later, but the captain's party, numbering some 5, were killed near this location, attempting to walk to safety along the old drovers route. Just for the sake of the audio, I'm sheltering behind a boxthorn, and it's here I'll try and tell you what I can of the story of the Mariah survivors. It is near this spot the party of 8, Alec Murray, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel, plus 5 more, were murdered. Just opposite, the party of 10 were murdered. They were Mrs. Young, James Strutt, Sam Denham and his wife, and their 2 sons. The bodies of the 3 Denham daughters were never found. In June 1840, the Maria left Port Adelaide for Hobart with 16 passengers and 10 crew. It is supposed the Maria came to grief on the Margaret Brock Reef. All aboard safely reached shore on Lassipede Bay, somewhere near present-day Kingston. A month later, Encounter Bay learned that a party of Europeans had been killed by Aborigines on the Coorong. It is thought as a response to white seamen interfering with Aboriginal women. There had been earlier incidents by whalers from Kangaroo Island. A police expedition was dispatched and found bodies of 8 Europeans in a shallow grave. A punitive police expedition was authorised by Governor Gawler, with very little regard to proper legal procedure. Late in August, 2 Indigenous men were hanged from she-oak trees on the Peninsula, their bodies ordered to be left for display. At least 2 others were shot. All 26 survivors of the Maria were killed by Aboriginals over 4 killing sites. I'm amazed there is not some sort of marker. I suspect it is a series of events all parties would just like forgotten. Just to finish the story, the 3 surviving crew of the Maria were tracked down and killed somewhere in present-day Menindee. So this is Long Point. I have no idea what its indigenous name is, but it will have one. There is here both a ramp and a jetty for the fishermen. The next thing we're going to do is the Car2 track. I have done it before, but not for a very long time, so yeah, this will be fun. This is, I believe, the Mark Point windmill, and according to signage, one of 4 such built on one of the early properties in the area. The trough, as impressive it is only half the length it once was, indicating much stock was watered from this point. So I'm just standing here in the little shelter at Mark Point because it's raining. Okay, I'll brave the rain and walk down to the water. I believe this was a known crossing point for the Coorong. Okay, there are very basic facilities here, boat ramp, that's about it really. This is Pelican Point. It's the spot where the Toitri barrage comes to. It stops raining, I'll get out and see if I can get some imagery. So we've come down to the Narrows here at Narrung, which is both the ferry crossing and also where lakes Albert and Alexandrina meet. This is the town of Narrung, proclaimed in 1907, although the district was settled roughly 1877. And this, of course, was the Narrung General Store. This is the Raucan Cemetery. I believe the first burial here was in 1859 of Teen Minnie. Whoever is looking after this cemetery is doing a fabulous job. They have made sure that every single grave is marked in some way. I believe there is a second smaller private cemetery somewhere nearby. Raucan was established as Point Macleay Mission in 1859 under missionary George Taplin. In 1916 it gained Aboriginal Reserve status under government administration. It was handed back to the Narrung people in 1974 and renamed Raucan in 1982. Raucan remains a beautiful little town in a fantastic setting. Raucan is regarded as the centre of Narrung lands. The Raucan church should be familiar to you. It was built in 1868. You'll find it on a $50 note if you happen to have one. This building is now a museum and gallery. It was George Taplin's residence. The mission had its own boat to go to Malang for stores and also to serve its outstation down at the Needles. This is our last stop for the day. This is the Point Malcolm Lighthouse. Point Malcolm Lighthouse was first lit in 1878 and operated right through until 1931. It is Australia's only inland lighthouse. Erected to help boats from Goolwa and Malang and other ports to negotiate the Narrows, then through to Meningie.